short for stormtrooper?
What's up, my friends? It is Stormy, of course, and welcome back to another episode of Stormy Schmoedown Breakdown. So guys, coming up on the Schmoedown this Friday is one of the most, if not the most fun match I am going to have the opportunity to call and to speculate and to discuss on this breakdown here, because coming up this Friday we have finally got the long-awaited match between Tom Dagnino and Josh Macuga. That's right, coming up this Friday, we have got the epic 5-5-5 match. That's right, it's May, the month of May, so there's 1-5 right there. It's the 5th day of the month, that's the other 5 right there. And also, it's going to be a 5-round match. That's right, Macuga is going to take Dagnino in a 5-round matchup. And, you know, obviously Macuga thinks this is going to be a bloodbath, so let's get into discussing the dynamics of the fight here. But first of all, I have to always begin with a massive shout out to the last 2 epic matches that we had on the Schmoedown. Some of the most amazing matches I have ever seen on the Schmoedown. You know, first of all, starting off with Jeff Snyder's match. I knew Snyder was going to take that, you know, of course, facing Drew McWeeny. I knew Snyder was going to take that match just because, you know, they're both heavily steeped in movie knowledge, and Drew McWeeny has been around longer than Snyder has, but Snyder has just been around in the Schmoedown longer, and I knew that he was going to take that match, so I'm very happy to take the victory with that match. My singles record now rises to 4-2, which is pretty decent. I'm pretty happy about that record, obviously. And then on to Team Action versus Team Nerds Watch. That was the match that just happened yesterday. Another match that I was really anticipating. One of the most epic matches that we've ever seen on the Schmoedown. 24-24 in sudden death. And then they went like 3 questions after that. Back and forth between the team. I can't remember the last time that's happened in the Schmoedown. Not sudden death, but that specific score. And then them going back and forth like that in sudden death. Who thought that Team Action was going to take Nerds Watch, even though they are a brand new team? Who knew that Team Action was going to take Nerds Watch to sudden death? So major props to Team Action for that. And it's just like Ken said in his interview, Team Action is part of the future of the Schmoedowns. This is a team to watch. They impressed me during this last match. I'm going to be keeping my eye out on Team Action now. I thought that they might have just been the new heels of the league. I guess in a lot of ways they are the new heels of the league, but I thought they just might have been playing the part. You know, here to just, you know, play some matches and play the part. They're here to play. They're here to play some matches. Those guys are pretty damn knowledgeable. So definitely look forward to more of their matches as well. Huge props to them. And what this also means here is with Team Nerds Watch winning that match, are they going to move on to taking on the Patriots? Ken had mentioned that in his interview that they eventually want to go after the belts. They eventually want to take the Patriots on. Yes, please. I definitely want to see that. And I think that they're a team that's in the Schmoedown now. Like I said, they're new. They're just starting out. But I think that they have more of a chance than anyone to really take the Patriots out, of course, except for the Wolves of Steel, which will be hopefully going up against the Patriots next to take on that title, to take those belts back. But Team Nerds Watch has also got a very good opportunity to come in and sweep that belt if they keep playing the way that they're playing. So now let's get into discussing finally this match on Friday, the epic 5-5-5 match between Josh Macuga and Tom Dagnino, formerly Finstock himself. Now starting out here with Josh Macuga, the whole reason why this match is going down in the first place is because he was originally supposed to play Finstock, or Tom Dagnino, in a match a little while ago, but what happened is Andraco came out posing as Finstock because, you know, Finstock is realistically a character of the league, so Andraco came out posing as Finstock, but Macuga still took him down. So now with this match coming up on Friday is the actual match. This is the match that everybody was looking forward to and that everybody thought that they were going to get to see all that time ago. Now Macuga is going to take Dagnino on in a 5-round matchup to seal the deal, basically. He just wants to seal the deal on this whole argument here. Now, in preparation for this, I watched his last matchup against Jeff Snyder, of course. It was a match that I was just talking about. Now, Snyder was the one that smashed his winning record. Macuga had an amazing winning streak going on in the Schmoedown until he came up against Snyder. And Snyder took him down in that match. Macuga played a really, really great game, but like I said, he was the one who snapped that winning streak from Macuga. Now, in that game, that was actually his 12th game. A lot of people don't realize that at all. That was Macuga's 12th game. Now I believe he has the most games of any Schmoedown competitor ever in the history of the movie trivia Schmoedown. 12 games under his belt. The dude has been around. He is a well of information. He knows his stuff, and he knows the Schmoedown basically like the back of his hand, which is why obviously he's assuming that this is going to be a major bloodbath for him. Now, and because of that, he had an amazing showing against Snyder. He really did. He almost won if it wasn't for one of those questions during the third round, which he messed up on. He might have come out with the W for that match. He might have come out with a victory, but unfortunately, he just couldn't get there. And obviously, I'm not telling you guys anything that you guys don't know about Macuga already. The guy is the reason that he's so powerful in the Schmoedown is because he knows everything. I mean, he knows you can just throw any kind of random question at him at any hour of the day and he might get it right. Just because he's a vault of random information. He knows about every subject ever. It's just that he has to have the right question to kind of spark that answer. But like I said, it's been working well for him so far in the league. He's been coming out with a lot of wins because he just got all this knowledge floating around up in his head waiting to come out. And that is a definite strength for Macuga. Is that Dagnino is knowledgeable too. But Macuga is way more knowledgeable than Dagnino is in terms of this random movie information that they have up in their heads. Macuga has just got that extra edge over Dagnino on that front. Now I'm going to move into, of course, talking about Tom Dagnino because he is the heel of this league. Dagnino he's the back alley heel of this league. They make jokes all the time about pulling him off the street, basically coming to the fight because that's the dynamic of the Schmoedown. He is the biggest dirtbag, and I say that lovingly. I hope you know I say that lovingly. He's the biggest dirtbag of the league, and he loves playing that part, that this role that they got going on the Schmoedown. It's amazing, and I think he's hilarious. I don't care what anybody says. I think that Dagnino is hilarious. I have the best time watching him in interviews and coming for matches and everything. He's just one of the coolest dudes on the Schmoedown, and it's fun to see him compete because as I get into discussing his dynamics here, he's actually gone up against a lot of really powerful competitors. A lot of people forget that Dagnino has gone up against Schnepp. He's gone up against Clark Wolf. He's gone up against Sam Levine, and of course he was in the free-for-all as well. I mean, he was the last competitor, but he's gone up against some real powerhouses in this league. Many people don't realize that. They don't realize that he's actually got a little bit of a record. And now he's also gone up against Macuga as well in a singles match. And Macuga used to be his partner. If you guys remember, they used to be the mega powers until that one fateful match when Dagnino said that he's had enough of Macuga and they went their separate ways. Now Dagnino went into management, then he was kicked out, then he was brought back into the league by Snyder in that match, that fateful match, which brought Dagnino back to the league. Now, after all of that, Macuga wants to take him down in this epic five-way match again to basically end the argument. He wants to shut Dagnino up. He wants to say, look, you've got no business being here. You've got business being on the street, but you've got no business being here on the Schmoedown. So he wants to basically just end this debate. He wants to prove that he is not a loser in this league. That winning streak that was snapped by Snyder was a fluke in his performance. He wants to come back and he wants to prove to people that he is still the champion, one of the champions of this league. And that's definitely going to play into the overall fight here coming up on Friday. So in preparation for watching Dagnino's match here, in preparation for this, I watched Dagnino versus Sam Levine and Clark Wolf as well, which are both very, very super strong competitors. And I also looked at his performance in the free-for-all. Again, a great way to really gauge your competitors. Now, in the match against Sam Levine, he didn't do that well. He did okay, but he didn't do that well in that match. But, you know, there's a reason that Macuga teamed up with this guy. Is that Dagnino is like Macuga in many ways, is that he's got a well of random information floating around in his head that comes in useful at certain times during the match. And a lot of people don't realize that Dagnino and Macuga are way more evenly matched than you think. They're both very, very strong competitors when it comes to random knowledge. It's just whether they can get the answer when they need to. But Dagnino has been able to do that in matches way more often than we give him credit for. So that's definitely something to take into consideration. You know, and there's a reason why Macuga teamed up with him. You know, like I said, there's a reason why they were partners. And the thing about the Schmoedown is that, you know, sometimes people can say that, well, that randomness of the information, that can hurt you. Well, not necessarily, because sometimes the movie trivia Schmoedown can be random. Sometimes the Schmoedown itself, the questions that they asked are from all across the board. They can be completely random. So that can actually work in Dagnino's favor. It can work in Macuga's favor on that front. Definitely. Now, as for Clark Wolf, this was an incredible match to watch. Now, obviously, everybody thought that this was going to be a complete slaughtering for Clark Wolf. You know, that Clark Wolf was just going to come in here and just completely sweep Dagnino under the rug. But no, what ends up happening, he was ahead in round 2. That's right, in round 2, Dagnino was ahead of Clark Wolf, and then again in round 3, at one point during round 3 he was ahead. And I mean, this was shocking. This was shocking. And it just goes to show you, it proves my point. That's the point that I was trying to make, is that sometimes the randomness of the Schmoedown can work in favor of people like Dagnino and Macuga. You really have to keep that in mind. But the problem with all these matches is that all these matches that I watch with Dagnino, they're at least 6 months old. He hasn't been competing in the Schmoedown for a very long time. It's been over a half a year since he's been back into the Schmoedown, except for the free-for-all. Now, that could really hurt him, because, you know, at least, you know, Macuga hasn't had a singles match for a little while either, but at least Macuga's match was way more recent. Macuga's match against Snyder was just a little while ago, was way more recent. And so this could be an interesting dynamic to come into play here, is that, you know, when Dagnino came into play for the free-for-all, he came in as the very last competitor. And when he came in as the very last competitor, he had 5 questions to go up against Sam Levine. And guess how many questions he got right against Sam Levine? 1. Just 1. And he was the last competitor. I mean, they were giving him all the chances in the world. Obviously, he's ranked the lowest, you know, obviously, but they were giving him all the chances in the world. And he only got 1 question right. And that was his very first match in a long time. And now this match coming up against Macuga is once again going to be his very first match in a long time. That Macuga's been around playing the Schmoedown much longer and much better than Dagnino has. Dagnino's just kind of been behind the scenes in management. So this, you know, and this brings me into my final thoughts here on the fight. My overall pick for this fight, you know, this isn't a match that I'm stressing myself over and say, oh man, I can't, you know, decide who's going to take the victory in this match. I'm really worried about my record and all that. No, this isn't a match that I'm super stressed or super worried about. This match is just going to be fun. This is a fun exposition match for the Schmoedown. Is it anticipated? Yes, absolutely. Is it going to be epic? Is it going to be legendary? Yes, absolutely, just like all the matches are. But this is going to be fun. Because this is the thing about this match, is that, you know, just like I said before, Dagnino and Macuga are more evenly matched than you guys think, because they're just wells of random information. Now, does this mean that Dagnino is going to beat Macuga? No. I think Macuga is right in saying that it is going to be a little bit of a bloodbath on his side, that he's going to come in there and pretty much just wipe Dagnino off the table. but I don't think that it's going to be a knockout for Macuga. Actually, I don't know if they're even going to be doing knockouts in this match. I think Macuga just wants to drag him out and just keep it going for as long as he can, so I don't think they're going to even be doing knockouts. And even so, I don't think that Dagnino is going to be knocked out in this game. I think that Dagnino is actually going to give Macuga a little bit more of a run for his money than he thinks. And the reason for that is because even though Dagnino has not had all that many games and he's been sitting back in management, Macuga is at that point now in the Schmoedown where he's starting to get a little bit burnt out with it because he's had so many victories and he's had so many great matches, and then after all of that, after getting so far, he lost to Jeff Sneider. That's got to be playing with his mind a little bit. It could be working for his motivation, obviously, for sure, but it's got to be playing with his mind a little bit that his winning streak was smashed by Sneider, and now he's got to go into this 5-round match against Dagnino, which everybody in the Schmoedown secretly knows is kind of a decent competitor. So, like I said, I think Dagnino is going to give Josh Macuga a run for his money. I love Josh Macuga to death, and I think that this is going to be a fun match. It's going to be so enjoyable to see these guys go head to head. These random wells of information go head to head for this long anticipated match. A match that was supposed to happen a while ago, but is finally happening this Friday. And remember, guys, the epic 5-5-5 match. I cannot wait to see how this is going to go down, and obviously to cover it after, to give you guys my reaction to that epic fight after and everything. So that's going to do it for my final pick for the Movie Trivia Schmoedown coming up this Friday between Dagnino and Macuga. But please, now it's time for you guys to leave all of your thoughts and opinions down below in the Great White Void. Let me know what you guys think. Who do you guys think is going to come out victorious for this match? Please discuss the dynamics. Leave all of your thoughts and opinions down below. Let's get the conversation going. And of course, if you guys aren't subscribed to Collider yet, please do so for fresh Movie Trivia Schmoedown matches every Tuesday and every Friday. And check out the Movie Trivia Schmoedown Facebook page started by fans for fans for all of the latest stats and updates, and of course, schmoesknow.com, which I will all link down below. And as always, until next we meet, stay in a galaxy far, far away.